Yeah, you're not crazy. It's not just you. People are soulless, and it's weird. It's hard to understand. How can you have a meaningful, deep, intimate connection with somebody or relation while it never turns out to anything more than it, or that some people just aren't there. You can't reach them. It's like a template of a person, but there's nothing more to it. There's no layers. There's no way to reach them. They're just not there, really. They aren't present. And I don't know if this is a neurodivergent thing. It could be, honestly. I have ADHD, so obviously people that have autism have this way worse. I can't even imagine what that's like. That's gotta feel alienating and alone. But I really do relate to the aspects of feeling like you can really read a room in great detail. You can walk into a room and you can see immediately what people are feeling. It's like you can really feel something. You can know what's going on. You know who is anxious. You know who is happy. You know who really, is going through something, or you can tell if there's a bad vibe. And when you speak to a person, you can tell the second they lose interest or really not about it, okay? Like, you can see these micro expressions and all of these small things that some people do not pick up on. Now, that doesn't have to be an ADHD thing, but I think it may be, a trait that maybe is more prevalent or common with people that have ADHD. So, maybe some of you guys relate to this, but I feel like I can understand most people I meet, and I can connect with most people I meet, but there's few people where that is the same for me, okay? There's not a lot of people that I meet or interact with that understand me as a deep level as I feel or believe that I do to them. And that is an experience which is not new or something that I'm unused to, per se, because I've felt sort of that way most of my life growing up, or a bit that you don't really connect, or that you're not like everyone else. And my friend actually said it the other day, and this is my best friend, and he didn't mean it in any way, but he said it, because I think I asked them, I kind of got into this friend group, and I have this view that this friend group is pretty closed off, and it's pretty locked in. And I don't mean I mean it's pretty boxed in, I guess. Yeah. So it's hard to get into that group, but somehow I managed to. So I actually was like, how did that happen? I feel like you guys are pretty closed off. And so my friend told me, yeah, well, you feel that way because you're different. You're not like everyone else. You don't really fit in. Now, obviously, that could have been quite hurtful or tough to hear, but I know that my friend didn't mean any harm, and I also recognize that it's true. It is true. I am different. I do not fit in. It's like this saying of, if something doesn't resonate or you don't believe it to be true, then it doesn't really offend you. Okay, so maybe you've already heard this analogy. It's a great one, or this example, that if somebody were to come up to me from the street and say, you have the fucking ugliest blue hair I have ever seen in my life, cut that off. Would you be offended? If you don't have blue hair, no. Why would you be offended? You don't have blue hair. Okay? And it's true. So if somebody says to me that, you're a lazy piece of shit, or whatever, if I don't believe this to be true, if I know it's not true, then those things won't offend me. And in this sense, I guess I am not in denial, or I am so aware that I am different. You know, I do not fit in. So when my friend says it, it's like, well, you have brown hair. You know, I have brown hair. That's how it is. You know, maybe I wanted to be blonde, but now I have brown hair. That's just how it is. Same thing with not fitting in. But again, I feel like even though this may be a personal experience that I struggle with these things, I feel like people really don't have a soul, and I feel like people have lost kind of the soul aspect. It's really hard to connect with somebody, have a meaningful conversation, and feel like you can become close to somebody. And this is something that I've experienced in new light since going out on the dating market, you know. Being on dates, getting to know different girls, you know, and really having good moments, or like connecting, but still it's just like the person is not there. You know, you have these profound moments, I guess, at least from my perspective, but then it's like, doesn't amount to anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't lead to anything. And I feel like it wasn't always like this. I feel like this has gotten worse, is my way of viewing this. Somewhere around COVID, I'd say. Something changed. The world went from sparkly, bright, vibrant, community, energy, to losing that spark. You know, somewhere around that time something happened. Can't say if that's even true, or if it was around COVID, or what it was caused by, but that's how I see and view the world from my lens, at least. I feel like something happened there, right? If you're thinking about what life was, or what we as humans were, or how we interacted, or how we acted right before COVID, or maybe in the beginning of COVID, and look back to now, like, do you feel like we as people have the same way of navigating life through shared experiences, or as deep emotional connections as you had back then? I feel like it's a pretty big shift around that time. So if you do feel like people are soulless, or that the world has lost color, or if you're struggling to build meaningful connections with people, or if you meet people and you feel like you have some really valuable moments but they never amount to anything, or they seem insignificant for the other person, then I'm out here and I'm saying that you are not crazy. I see you and I experience these things too. So yeah, it's not just you. People feel soulless. And I guess the natural conclusion to that is that the foundation, the majority of your life and your happiness or purpose can't come from other people or external things, okay? You need to be whole, happy, satisfied, and work if all you had is yourself. So what is so awesome then is that if you were to meet a person which really brings that extra spark, or, you know, those extra good feelings, vibes to your life, then it's just that. It's adding it, okay? You are whole without this person or this external thing in your life. You do not need it. It does not complement you. It's not your other half. It's something that adds to your life. That also makes sure that the connection and the experience is more robust, healthier, and better. So, positive end note there. If you never take care of what's on the inside, you, yourself, your health, if you can't stand being alone, if you run from being alone by running to other people or constantly distracting yourself, hey, I've been there. But it's not going to bring you the stillness and the peace and the happiness that you are searching for. It's inside you. Okay. The kingdom of heaven is within you. To end off. Scroll pen out.